Hey everyone, so I wanted to go through this analysis that we were trying to do in class, but weren't able to make it work. So what we're going to be doing is our what if analysis data tables, and I'm going to go through two different examples, one that's a kind of a 1D example and one that's a 2D example. I'll explain what I mean, but basically a column versus kind of a row and column matrix of values that we're trying to solve for. So what we're going to do is, if you see I'm in the what if analysis practice, and there's a table here for quantity demanded and quantity supplied, and basically I've got a bunch of prices and I want to determine the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied. So you can see that all of my row is in, or all my data is in, a single column. All my inputs here are the prices that I'm going to be changing, and I want to determine the corresponding quantity demanded. So the way this function kind of works is basically I've got all the numbers here that I'm going to be changing, and the answers, the computed quantity for the quantity demanded will actually appear to the right here. Now I need to leave one other cell blank, and this cell that's kind of above where the data starts, this is where the actual kind of computation happens. And I'll show you what we do with that and how we kind of arrange this to make the function work. But basically this cell that's kind of above where our data starts is where the computation happens. So what we want to do is we actually want to enter our computation there, and we can do it two ways. So since I've, in my model over here on the left, you can see that I have a computation for quantity demanded and quantity supplied. So I can actually just, because that computation is happening, I can kind of just reference it directly. So you'll see that I'm referencing that cell directly, but there's a kind of a computation behind it because it's referencing another cell that has a computation in it. For the other thing I could do, so for the quantity supplied, I'll change it up a little bit. See, you can see the formula for this, and what I'll do is I'll actually just copy that, and I don't want to copy it over, but I can basically just paste that function in, and it's doing the same thing. So I can either reference an existing function or kind of paste the function directly in, but again, that kind of cell right above where my data starts is where the computation happens, so it needs to be blank, and I need to enter kind of the calculation that I'm calculating quantity demanded or quantity supplied based on. So what I do then to actually run this analysis is I'm going to highlight this table, including that calculation row, and I'm going to go to what if analysis, and I'm going to go to data table, all right? And what I've got is I've got my input cell, which in this case, because I'm changing price, or the price is what I'm adjusting, I'm actually going to go and select price. Now, I'm not going to actually input a row because the data that I'm changing is in a column, so I'm going down a column. If I was going across on a row, I would input a row cell, and I'll show you that in a minute, how that works. But basically, I'm going to click OK, and you can see that it filled out the various information. So again, when the price is $70, this is telling me that the quantity demanded is $3.55, and so on. So I can do the same thing here. I select this, I clicked what if analysis, data table, I'm going to go to my column input. Again, what we're changing is price. Select price, and there you go, it's filled in the values. Okay, now let's say we're going to do a little more complex analysis, and if I come over to, this is actually from the homework. If I come over here, we're going to see that we've actually got like a 2D table. So you can see we've got our advertising budget, which is going to be, this is our row, and we've got price, which is going to be our column. So what I'm actually going to be calculating here is I want to calculate the amount of profit that comes from this model. So you can see here I'm calculating the total profit in this cell. So once again, this upper kind of left cell is going to be where I put that calculation. So this is going to be my calculation that's calculating basically the numbers that then get entered down in this area. So what I can do then is I'm going to select the table that I want to calculate. I'm going to go to the what if data table. And now again, I have my two inputs. Now, as we can see here, I've got two different inputs. One is price, one is advertising budget, and we've got row input and cell input. So price is going to be my column input again. However, this time I'm going to have a row input as well, which is going to be advertising budget. So for my row input, I'm going to put advertising budget. And for my column input, I'm going to put price. Click OK, and now when we come back down, we can see how those things got computed, and actually this automatically charted our graph for us, so we can see kind of how those are affected. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. The key kind of here is, really you want that blank cell. That blank cell needs to have the equation that is computing the values that end up kind of over in our analysis area, and then basically we highlight the area that has the data and where we want the calculations to arrive. Click OK, and we're good to go. So hopefully that was helpful, and talk to you in class. Thanks.